Good morning, justice seekers. I am so happy that you're here. I know it's been a long weekend and I apologize for the lighting. It's a lot earlier than I usually do my videos, and so I don't have the lighting together, and then trying to get the lighting on a live is even harder than lighting on a pre-recorded. So we're going to get started. I feel like we need to talk about the Kylie Rodney case big time, right? I mean, holy crap. Holy crap, Batman. So we got Monday morning, 8 o'clock, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Coming at you live. To me, I had a great weekend. I hope everybody else did too. As far as the Kylie Rodney case goes, it was an absolutely shitty weekend. We had that ridiculous videotape come out at the end of last week, and all the back and forth and people slicing and dicing. And like I said yesterday, I don't want to waste any time talking about that fucking tape, okay? Sorry to cuss. Sorry, not sorry. That tape is immaterial to me. It's irrelevant, 100% irrelevant. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on it, go back to yesterday's live. I want to talk about two cases that I have not mentioned yet that are old cases that have been solved, okay? People probably don't remember or haven't heard of Tanya Ryder. This was back in 2007. It was in Seattle. Sorry about the glare on my glasses. I'll take them off for a moment. Tanya was missing for 8 days. She had two jobs. She was 33 years old. Her husband was 39. And she had a cell phone, even though it was 2007 and not everybody did. Her case was what changed the law with cell phone location, okay? Up until that point, it was considered somebody's privacy to ping their phone and say where they were. When she went missing, her husband went to the police. He went to the cell phone company and begged and begged and begged and begged. And all he did was get accused of murder, okay? And I lived in Seattle at the time. I was following the case, and I was just like, this guy did not kill his wife. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. And lo and behold, they finally pinged her on like the 7th day, the 8th day. They found her 20 feet in a ditch covered by brush on Highway 2 to and from, she had worked at Nordstrom's in Bellevue. She was trying to go home, had a car accident, almost died, dehydrated, starving to death, injured. And because her husband loved her so much that he made the police, he made the cell phone company do what needed to be done. And they found her. And she's still alive today, as far as I know. She wrote a book about it. So Tanya Ryder, that's one case, all right? She lived in Maple Valley. Another case that's much more recent, 2000, August, is an 18-year-old who went missing. This woman's name is Gia Fuda, F-U-D-A, if you want to look her up. And she was also from this kind of small town, Maple Valley. It just started many more ops for snapping. Okay. So with Gia, she was missing for 9 days. And she's still alive too. She had literally run out of gas on Highway 2, which is going over Stevens Pass, which is right where Twin Peaks was filmed. So Gia was found alive after 9 days in the woods, starving, dehydrated, confused. I don't know all the details of that case because I don't live in Seattle anymore, and I only learned about her when I was trying to get my specific data on Tanya Ryder. But my point in bringing up these cases is that, yeah, there are cases where people are innocent and there's no wrongdoing and somebody made a terrible mistake. Those cases do exist, and nobody wants to point a finger at anybody saying that they did something awful, saying that they are incompetent at their profession. But this case that we're looking at with Kylie Rodney is so abundantly clear And it just keeps getting more clear, in my opinion. I have, from the outset, there was so much suspicion in my mind about this Sammy character coming forward. The whole party thing, the whole writing on the t-shirts, writing on the windows of the cars, just all of it. And then when Lindsay's hugging her and, looking like spooning. I like to say spooning. I got that from Harsh. But yeah, they're like literally spooning each other. Can you give me a break? This girl is telling you that she failed your daughter and your daughter's deceased and you're going to spoon her? Really? Okay, whatever, to each his own, to each her own. The reason I wanted to get on here before I watched other people's videos is because I stand firm that these alleged fire surveillance tapes, video cams are not relevant. They're just not relevant. Whether they're real or not is not relevant. I mean, like I said, if they are relevant, if they do exist, we have a huge problem with massive incompetency across the boards with law enforcement in that area. Not just incompetency, sheer stupidity. Sheer stupidity that they didn't get that tape, sheer stupidity that they didn't find that car. I don't want to waste time on that. What I want to focus on is justice for Kylie. I did actually get to watch Harsh Reality's newest video this morning, and that was the takeaway. And I think that that's a really smart takeaway, because all of this smoke and mirrors is just that. It's smoke and mirrors, trying to distract. And yes, YouTube is, it's part of our free country. This is why people from other countries look to YouTube, because not every country can you say what you think. Not every country are you free to do that. And in this country, we need to protect that right. The authorities in this case, in this Truckee case, have fucked up, okay? They have completely fucked up. It's time to set the record straight. An injustice anywhere literally threatens justice everywhere. Okay, those are Martin Luther King's words, some of his finest words, in my opinion. And it's so true. If there's an injustice to Kylie with this, the road that they appear to be going down and that they've been going down since day one, if they continue to go down that road and she gets no justice, this could happen to anybody, anywhere, not just in a place like Truckee. It sets a precedence. And one of the precedences that it sets is that we're law enforcement. We know what's going on. We're not showing you our cards. We are protecting the integrity of the case. You sit back and do what we say and listen, do what you're told, right? No, not okay. Absolutely not okay. We, the people, is our constitutional right. And we deserve to know if there's a safety issue with the way that road is designed, the way the gravel roads are designed, the way the reservoir edges are designed. What if we go out there on vacation and we end up in the drink too, right? No, we deserve to know. If we've got crazy teenage kids that can get away with murder, we need to know that as well. I just am so pissed off. I try to be diplomatic and polite and professional in these, and I am just like, I've had it. I've absolutely had it. And I'm sure a lot of you have too. So I want to state that everything I say is my opinion only. And it's all surely for the sake of discussion, conversation, education, and entertainment. So also please hit the thumbs up if you like it, subscribe, share with your friends. I'm going to put my glasses on and try to read some of these comments because I want to learn how to be able to do both. So the last one, dodging bullets. You are not alone, AZ. Pissed off is saying it lightly. Oh my God, thank you. Because I feel like, if I'm alone on my island, I will stand alone on my island. This whole thing reeks. It freaking reeks. Okay. Somebody else, and I don't want to read out your names. Oh, wait, no, you can see it. You can see it. So it's all public already. Charlotte Green, you and me both. All right. Rhonda R. Don't even prove she was driving. I don't think that video would hold up in a court of law. Of course it wouldn't. Let's just pretend for a second that it might be real, okay? And that these people are all buffoons. And they're like, oh, yeah, we forgot that there's videotapes everywhere. I mean, they live in fire country, right? That's going to be your first thought. Oh, we've got those fire tapes. So if they have that, they would be able to zoom in. They'd be able to use infrared light. They'd be able to see who was driving the car, facial features. They'd be able to see who's moving around. This whole thing is so stupid. And that whole, whatever her name was, that Megan that came out last week, and all of these kids not talking, okay? Where are the boys that were at this party? We have not heard from a single one of them. We got a half a dozen Nates, okay? Allegedly, Nate Hambrick was dating Kylie. Allegedly, his father and his grandfather are in very powerful positions with something that may or may not be illuminous, shall we say? Oh my God, people, this town and their freaking doctrine of utopia, okay? We live in a real world. There's no such thing as utopia. It's going to turn into a fantasy island, Twilight Zone nightmare every time, as obviously it has in Truckee, right? And we've got all these millionaires that are hiding out there. And like I've said before, being a millionaire in that area is like no big deal, right? Everybody's millionaires. It's an expensive place to live. But we all know that money talks and people can get away with murder, literally, if they have enough money to pay people off or to hire the right attorney. Cell phone ping. This is Doug, his last thing. Cell phone ping could put her in the driver's seat, back seat, or passenger seat with 3 towers. And guess what they have up there? Perfection. And then right before that, we got Marion M. You won't be alone at any point in this case, Justice. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because to quote Kurt Cobain, I would rather be hated for being true to myself than to be loved for being untrue to myself, honestly. And I am so compelled to help with what I can for justice for Kylie. And I couldn't do it without you guys. I really appreciate you guys. I am going to spend some time today. I'm kind of scared to do it. Like, I don't watch a lot of these videotapes of people that are convinced that it's all a real videotape, because I think that's hogwash. And I don't really want to waste my time of people slicing it and dissecting it and breaking it down. However, it is important to see the other side as well, correct? Let's see. Ain't that the truth? Marion M., thank you. Oh, Rhonda doesn't even prove she was driving. I don't think that video would hold up in a court of law. I read that one. PJ Barker, I said the same thing last night. Distraction. No one is talking about the foul play. They are focusing on the video. That's exactly right. And that's exactly what they want. And there's so much to focus on. Those freaking videotapes that Sammy put up and took down. Hello? What kills me, what absolutely kills me, is how blatantly obvious everything is to me. And thank goodness I don't stand alone on that, because it's just clear as day. I mean, you look at the memorial service, if you can call it that, the celebration of life. No, that was a celebration of Truckee utopia crap, right? I'm still saying foul play. Yes, Rhonda R. Absolutely. I think that Kylie's father and grandfather are too. We haven't really heard from them. And the reason that I was looking up all the information about Kylie's grandfather and his business with the water company is something that I've kind of wondered all along, which is there some retribution about something that went down there? Or has there been retribution in the aftermath of this situation happening, and then the authorities being like, well, we're still mad at him over that lawsuit from 2010? Or it looked to me like there was just a slew of lawsuits. I didn't get into it like I'd mentioned yesterday. It just felt like a rabbit hole that I didn't want to get lost in, because that's a whole nother direction. That's a whole nother topic, really. If it's relevant here, let's just stay right where we are and look at the relevancy of that, correct? So let me get my glasses on and read this. Dodging bullets. Thumbs up, kids. There's more than 8 in the room. Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you. I wonder what AWP seen. I think it's the way she was in the hatch that made them think suspicious. We don't know if she was clothed. We don't know if she was bruised. We don't know if she had abrasions. We sort of kind of know that, well, the car was flipped over, and if she was at the seat, or actually, I'm misspeaking, if she was in the cargo area and the roof of the car is on the ground, she was either strapped in or she was floating, right? If she'd been in there for 2 weeks, she'd be completely unrecognizable. And personally, my takeaway is that she could not have possibly been in there for 2 weeks, that she would have been fish food with the windows down and everything. I hate to say that. It's so disgusting. Nick looked horrified. Exactly. And when people say it's his first dive, this man was in the Navy. I don't know if he was a Navy SEAL, but give me a break. He's a 40-year-old man. He's seen shit, okay? He's seen shit. He looks like he's going to throw up. You watch that tape again and again. He's got that vein bulging out of his forehead, and he looks like he's going to cry. He looks like he's going to vomit. He probably did cry, and he probably did vomit, and they didn't want that on the tape, right? 2 weeks, the fish would have ate her flesh. Oh, I know. It's so horrible. It's so disgusting. This poor, beautiful girl. If she got drunk and had an accident and died, this whole thing would have been a wrap by now. And her ex-boyfriend wouldn't have been posting, basically calling her a dumb bitch. Like, oh, you freaking idiot. I wish I had been there to protect you from your crazy ass, stupid self. This whole thing is just so hateful. It's so hateful. It's so misogynistic. I get back to that, but I don't want to be like, on my little feminist soapbox, but that's such an element of it. We have a young blonde woman driving while being young, driving while being blonde, driving while being a woman. We can take that and use that against her. Dodging bullets, not one tear came out of Truckee. Right. Like at her memorial service, and they're flipping people off. Like, really? The bird in a beautiful star? What the fuck is up with that? These people are bizarre. And that flag, the big purple flag on the black poles that was above the table, the shrine of all the tarot cards and stuff. Yeah, that flag looked like it was a spray painted image of one of the photographs of her kind of dancing on the pier in that beautiful, lovely black dress. But I took that photograph and I showed it to a couple of people, the photograph of that purple flag, without telling them anything about the case. I said, what do you think of this? And they said, satanic cult. People that don't really think like that, people that don't really talk like that. Cultist pentagram. Yeah. is disgusting. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here momentarily. I'm going to go get on a lot of research. I'm going to look some stuff up. I'm going to come back later. Kate cried. Kate, the one who delivered her to Mags so that Mags could deliver her to Sammy. Mags also cried. Yeah, I think they feel terrible. Absolutely terrible because they're part of it. Was she a sacrifice? Was she? Doug says no. Personally, I think, and I don't want to point the finger, right? But it has seemed pretty obvious to me all along that her ex-boyfriend and her fake friend had motive, and maybe some cooperation, maybe some cooperation. Maybe they were upset that she was with the new Nick. Maybe Jagger was upset about that. Maybe Sammy was upset about that. And maybe it was some type of revenge. And let me say, allegedly, in my humble opinion, right? Like I said, I don't want to point the finger at anybody. I absolutely don't want to point the finger at anybody. I would love for this to be an innocent accident, but we can tell it's not just the incident that gives us all this information. It is the aftermath of the incident. When something happens, that doesn't define anything. How people deal with that thing happening is what defines everything. So on that, I'm going to say thank you so much. Take care, Justice AZ. Be back later. I hate green. In fact, I'm allergic. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Ask the Sings. Cults get rid of people who go against them. Ask Scientologists, of course. Absolutely. And Barbara says such occult vibes. So thank you, folks. Thank you for hanging with me this morning. I'm definitely going to have a lot more to say on this. I'm going to stay at it because I know that a lot of people are looking at other cases. They're sick of this. Honestly, I'm sick of it, but I'm not going to give up. I am absolutely not going to give up. Mark my words. Okay. I'll see you later. And thanks again. Don't forget to hit that like button and please share. Thank you. I really appreciate you. And end.